Hello everybody, my name is Elenator and welcome back to Minecraft Through the Android, second best MTTA around. Here we are, hooray, it's nice to be back. I'm in a good mood today because I was working on adding touch inputs to my game because we'll see if we ever get mobile going. But I am for sure trying to work on Steam Deck compatibility. Steam Deck has a touchscreen. Turns out it ended up being very easy to just have buttons on the screen control the movement and the other stuff. I'll need to figure out debug inputs later. But I got the important things going. Hooray! Alright, so back to Minecraft. There's a sheep up there, and I don't know how long he's been hanging around. That's kind of a moment. So we were working on this pathway. I guess that sliver of water. It'd be really cool if that water sticks around for the rest of this world history. I have doubts, but hey, I can hope, can't I? Anyways, did I run out of stairs? I think I did, because I need to put stairs here. Otherwise they go up, and down, and around. You know what would be cool? I wonder if I could make this a big loop. Maybe not. Well, what I have to do is I need to connect that to here. We have the plank path going, but we don't currently have much of the cobblestone path. Part of that is I've been doing a lot of wooden pathways, and I haven't been doing a lot of cobblestone pathways. So we need to designate more cobblestone areas. I know we have one way down there. Do I have any? No, I don't. Maybe this is the time where we're going to work on self-sufficiency. I think I mentioned it before. Basically, we're going to start out with a crafting table. That's the important part. Let me make sure this is in fact public. Yes, it is. Cool beans. Alrighty, so this is the beginning point. And then we also have the beginning point for the stone that's been cobbled up here, except I expanded the wooden pathway. I made it larger because I wanted to make it an even number, since I sort of decided that all these different areas are going to be based on even numbers. That means I had a little bit of work to do. So that goes to here, which is one additional block outward. And is that a... Let's grab all this. Yeah, this is a cave here, kind of, which might end up getting eliminated. Oh, did not take that. Alrighty, let's put that back. So this, yeah, this is gonna be cobblestone pathway for sure, which means I might block this off now. I'm gonna try again with the diagonals. We're gonna see how it looks, but I'm already envisioning. Is that a good idea? I'm already envisioning sort of how this is gonna go. So I'll need to connect this. Problem is, I want this pathway to have a good view of the area, which means, what if I just carve this whole floor up? Thing is, what about in that direction? Let's head over here, because this right now is a low ceiling. In fact, I could still reach the ceiling from here. Who buzzed me? Is that the email? That's not the email telling me that I went live. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, all of this up here, I'm thinking of carving out, because when we step off in this direction, this side of the cavern, that cave is... No way. I could still reach that? That is so... Are you serious? Hold on. There's no way. Oh my gosh. Do you see how far that goes? What is this? Why can I Halo reach so far? That's crazy. Never in Java. Oh no. So I go way down here. Okay, so that ceiling is just barely out of reach. Hold on, how high is that? 1, 2. 10 blocks. One more because I jumped. Oh no, 11. It's 11 blocks. Oops. Make that 12. Anyways, that is extremely far. So yeah, it's 11 blocks, and then you can reach the 12th. That's gotta be a bug, right? I'm pretty sure your distance is supposed to be half of that. Only 6 blocks. But anyways, so I'm thinking, in fact, why don't I just do that now? I have this far reach. There's a good chance it's gonna end up being fixed in the next build or two. So because I can Halo reach so far, why don't I just work on digging up this whole ceiling here? We're gonna head off on this side because I need to know where to end it. Oh, Zomble, where are you? I have a diamond sword I want you to look at. I don't know. I don't know where he is. But I want to carve this up, but to make it look natural, I'd rather use caves that are already in this area. But I don't think there's any connected here. I might just have to start digging. Because this cave goes here, which means I can at least reach up to this point. But what about everything that's just up here? Oopsies, that was too far. I thought there was only 3 blocks. Alright, let me figure out how I want to redo this. Because that's not a way to go up anymore. So yeah, I'll just start digging this up then. Because this goes over to here, which means what I could do. Hello, is it you? You making all this noise? Oh, I must have, because he was already partially damaged. So I guess what I could do is, I could dig up this part, flatten it, and then end it right around here. Alright, so first things first, I think is get rid of this section right here. Because this does loop around, right? Yeah, mostly. Alright, here, let's just make it loop around for sure. We don't have too far we can go, because we're going to need to dig this up. Oops. Is this our only pickaxe? We have another one. Hey. No, no. No, no, no. I'm still trying to get used to the sound delay. How about I turn the audio lower on my end? If I really, really wanted to sync this up. No, never mind. I would have to delay the video to match the audio and delay my voice to match the video and the audio. I'd rather just stick with real time and then having to put up with this. Because the settings as well, I'd have to undo whenever I record something else because it's just Nox 9 in particular that has delayed audio. And it is just past 10 and I'm already getting close to sweating. Oh boy, summer is here. I'm gonna be tempted to hop off the computer after this and then just stay off the rest of the day because it's starting to get toasty. It's feeling summer temperatures over here. And unfortunately, I don't have centralized heating. I don't have a centralized HVAC unit. Sad times. So, if I want to cool off, I'm going to have to hop on my electric scooter and go for a ride. 20, 25 miles an hour. That'll cool me off. Okay, that's not entirely true. I went riding yesterday and I was cooking. I was toasty just out for a ride. The wind was hotter than I've ever felt riding on the scooter before. Oh boy. Such is how it goes, I believe. Because I haven't gone riding around in this type of heat at these speeds, because I haven't had the space to do so. But now I do. So it was going out for a ride yesterday. I was preparing to be cold, and I can assure you I was in fact not cold. Howdy, howdy, welcome back. Alright, how are we doing on space? Just over 2 stacks. Alright, so we have this carved up. I'm thinking maybe 2 more blocks. I'm gonna have to do something for here, potentially. I don't know what though. But if I could just sort of bring this down. At some point, I'm gonna have to decide on a wall. Oop. But if I at least open this up for now, this will be less work for me later. But I think to my right, this can be raised up. The ceiling can be raised up. You know what I might do? I have more game dev stuff I'm working on today. Working on touchscreen support. But I might end up dig more of this on my own time because I've been digging this for several streams now. And I kind of want to use all this cobblestone to build. So if I just dig off camera, because you've seen plenty of that, then I can build on my own time. Howdy, Paul. That video was not recorded on a bike. The inventory didn't slide over. They fixed it. Hooray! You know what that means? I can organize my hotbar exactly how I want it to. And I don't have to deal with items sliding to the left anymore. This is great. We're finally starting to get decent hotbar management. Now I just have to wait around for the full 9 slots. They're in the process of returning, or are you going to return soon? I want to do this one more. I might leave this for now and just sort of save it for later. Kind of want to dig this up, this big chunk right here. There's a cave right up there. Oopsies, there's a cave right down here. Got your first manga. How long have you been reading them? Or have you not been reading them? And yes, howdy, welcome back. Alright, so there is in fact this cave right up here, which makes things easier for me. Because otherwise I'd kind of have to squeeze all this. I think for now, keep working on lowering this. So this is here. This is the pathway, which means I want to keep this flat. But all of this up here, everything I'm currently standing on needs to go down. The question remains unanswered. Have you read manga before? I only started watching anime this year. For some reason, I thought you were more into that. Alrighty, so I'm looking at... I don't know. I kind of just see this big chunk right here. Looking at how things turned out, I probably should have not gone back to regular streaming so quickly if I wanted to keep getting views on the, what video was that? Well, just the Infinite 624 video. Probably should have waited like a good month, but I'd rather keep the series going. Next time I'm gonna be prepared and tell everyone, be like, hey, I'm gonna upload a video. If it does really well, I'm not gonna upload for 4 weeks. Because I want to make sure I get all the attention I can. Because these past few days, I've definitely noticed it is getting less views than before. Because I've said plenty of times, every time you upload a video after something that goes viral, it will drop the views. Alright, let's see. How far can we go? Not much more. The inventory is almost full. I kind of remember the 0.11 update. I had a creative world back in the day. I don't think I still have it. I'd have to really go searching because I haven't seen it in many years now, so I don't know if it's still around. But there's a world where I had this, I want to say it was a Mushroom Island. Well, I've been told that Mushroom Islands crashed the game in 0.11, so I can't verify. But I had this Mushroom Island, and I built this house out of different materials. Each room was made out of different block palette. I didn't get very far. I had one made out of like sponges, one made out of glass, one made out of... What else did I use? I almost think I had one out of melons, but I can't verify if I can't find the world. Anyways, small fry me from 10, 11 years ago was doing stuff like that. But I for sure remember testing out boats on there. And the one thing I liked about PE boats that wasn't in Java Edition at the time was, at least I don't think it was the ability to have 2 people in a boat. That was a great feature. And on top of that, it felt more realistic having the 2 sides be independent. You have one button to row left and one button to row right. And so if you wanted to move forward, you got to hold both buttons down. That worked great for touchscreen because I thought it was fun. That did not translate well when they tried adding it to Java. So during the snapshot phase for 1.9, they undid that change. It's just W again to go forward. I don't remember the name of the world. Can't even verify that I made it in 0.11, but I definitely remember when boats were new. Because the reason why I used that creative world on the island was I would boat around it. I'll probably not stick around too much, just enough to drop off all this cobble, of which we're going to need to start building soon. We do not have the chest space. Hooray! We filled up that entire chest. Alright, well, let's go back and pick up the pieces that were on the floor. Hungry, hungry sheep. Are the step sounds that quiet? They're barely registering on OBS. In fact, maybe while I'm down here, now that I have enough slots, I'll just use up the rest of this pickaxe. And then, once this pickaxe is gone, we'll do a full resupply. Is what all? Whoop, lag spike. No freeze, please. Today is still the day. There could be a chance for it coming out within the next 12 hours. Anything could have happened last minute, as a game dev who has also had something happen last minute. The world will go up for download. I should say the world download will be updated. after part 2 is over, around 0.12, which we're finally starting to get towards the tail end of 0.11's development cycle. And I'm pretty sure 0.11 only had one update. I think it was 0.11.1, and then that was it. So there's 14 total builds. We're on 10. So that's 4 more, plus the 2 versions, 0.0 and 0.1. And then that might be it. I have seen the new Grandpa Buggy upload. For as much as I watched his episodes at 1.25 speed, I couldn't watch the rap at 1.25 speed. That's already fast enough. Chances are he digitally sped it up anyways. Can't verify. I'm really hoping though that he does the nostalgia bait for the 1 hour gameplay no commentary recorded with unregistered Hypercam 3. We'll see though. I'll take that. How many slots? So that one's there. One more after this. Do I have iron? I have not mined any iron. Alright, so then I'll leave that one. Because I don't want to dedicate an entire slot just for 2 blocks. Goodbye, pickaxe. Drop a couple more torches, make sure there are no bad guys waiting for me when I come back. Did I say Hypercam 3? I thought I said Hypercam 2. I am unfamiliar with the history of Hypercam. I just remember seeing the watermark on many videos in the past. And that's kind of part of playing into the whole nostalgia bait. Alrighty, so the exit is this way. Oh wait, was it? Hold on, maybe I need to be down here. Except that's kind of dark, don't want bad guys poking out. Hello. You are the reason why I decided to light up more of this area. Where's the E? I don't know what E you're talking about. First I thought you were talking about my Cheez-It counter, but I haven't cheesed it. I don't even think you were around when the Cheez-It counter was active. It's still active, but setting it at 0, I don't need it on screen. I don't even know what Hypercam itself looked like. I just know the watermark. Alright, we're gonna go the correct path that I know is the exit. That's not a pickaxe anymore. Oh, sunset. Considering I do not know what that is, chances are I have not. The Cheez-It counter resets after every part, and the only reason why it does that is because I did not want to go back and check how many times I've cheesed it in part 1 of UMP. I didn't want to go back and add it up in total. So therefore, when part 3 came around, I just went back to 0. So, whenever the next part of UMP comes out, yes, it'll be back at 0 again. Alright, we shall catch some Z's, reset the non-existent weather timer, clear out our inventory, figure out where to put cobblestone. I might have a dedicated cobblestone storage area after this. Alright, we are looking at... We have a carrot. Did that zombie drop a carrot? The noisy one that was bothering me earlier. We have a lot of carrots. Is this one the potatoes chest? Oh wait, no, this one's for beetroot seeds. The potatoes is this one. I have 0 potatoes. I am not surprised that Cheez-Its tried making chili dog flavored. That sounds like something I would try. I've yet to determine whether or not that sounds like something I would regularly buy. Because I'm one of those people who likes pizza flavored Pringles. Does it taste like pizza? Not at all. But I like pizza flavored Pringles. I miss Minecraft EDU. Yes, Education Edition has some good ideas, but like, I miss Minecraft EDU. And part of that is, you know, I like Java over Bedrock. Yeah, it went the wrong way. I don't like spicy anything. Regular Cheez-Its are probably my favorite. I don't know if I have a favorite Pringles though. Sour cream and onion is up there, but that also applies to Lay's. Alright, I don't have a flint chest. Or do I? I did. Good job, me of the past. Sharp food sounds like a literal translation. I can kind of understand that, but how do you describe cheddar? Sharp cheddar uses the same word. Because you've got mild, medium, and sharp cheddar. How do you differentiate them? Alrighty, so we are back in here. We're gonna toss these logs real fast. I'll be back making more, back making more planks later. I don't think I've had any cheese flavored Pringles, or specifically cheese. Pizza has cheese, but that's pizza flavored. Cheez-Its are a little cheesy. In terms of, if you're looking for proper cheese flavor, you're not going to find much. But they do have their own taste to them. Do I have any spare chests? I don't think so. Because they all would have been spent over there. So, the question is, where do we put cobblestone storage? Oh wait, hold on. I think I'm a ding-dong. I think I know exactly where to put cobblestone storage. What we are going to do, I grab all these wooden planks that I just put away. To the crafting station. Alrighty, so we are looking at... Sure, I'll make 6 chests. That'll be 3 independent double chests. And while we're here, we're also going to make 1 more crafting table. I used to play so much Angry Birds back in the day. Years ago. We're talking 2009 to 2011, back before I got into PC gaming. Back when I was still a small fry. I played much Angry Birds on an iPod Touch Gen 2. Because this was before the iPod Touch started coming with cameras. Angry Birds, Angry Birds Seasons, and Angry Birds Rio. Those were the games that were around then. Space and Star Wars came a little later compared to when I started. I never got around to those though. Years later, I ended up getting the trilogy, the Angry Birds trilogy, which had the main game seasons in space. No, the main game seasons and Rio for the PS3. I haven't completed it yet, but I'm in the process. I remember way back when Angry Birds Rio was still being worked on, because I specifically remember having to wait for the last 2 or 3 levels to be added. I don't know exactly when that happened, but that will give you an accurate timestamp of when I was playing Angry Birds. I don't even know if someone was keeping track of Angry Birds Rio update history back in the day. I don't know if I've had green onion. Whoop. I don't know if I've had green onion Pringles. Definitely not paprika. If I saw the can, I would probably recognize. I like barbecue Pringles. Like, I like many barbecue flavored chips. Unless you're American, unless you're not American, in which case I like many barbecue flavored crisps. I went the wrong way. And we're also going to hope that I did not need that water bucket that I put back. What's with the shadow? I wasn't focused, I got lost. Good job, me of the past. So yeah, I do go down here. And then we go. This not it? Am I crazy? Oh wait, it's this one. Here we go. Chances are there was an Angry Birds mod for Minecraft, but I can't see it being as detailed as you described. You can always go to Google and prove me wrong, because I don't think I've ever bothered searching before. You know what? I think I will keep these chests right where I wanted, where I was envisioning. Right down here is a nice, good storage area. So if we just boop, boop, slide that over, boop, boop, slide that over, boop, boop. There we go. I didn't even count that. It just happened to work out very well. And this is where the crafting table comes in. We put that there. We'll be back with the furnace. The furnace will go there. But now, look at this. We have all this storage space. Hooray! And now, I don't have to go all the way back to dump cobblestone. I can just dump the cobblestone right here. I wouldn't be surprised if green onion was a non-North American flavor. The closest thing we have is sour cream and onion. But green onions and regular onions are not the same. See how slow this was? If this was Java, modern Java after, whoopsies, beta 1.5, we could have just shift-clicked all of that in. Just boop, 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 boop. Later, I say as I keep waiting for proper mouse and keyboard support. I should probably also be smart and do testing to make sure that it works before claiming to make episodes on it. I still have plans to take this series to 1.1, but that's going to determine how much time I need to spend preparing to go to 1.1 in case the entire input system gets finagled. in 0.12. On this setup, at least. I say as I walk back ever so slowly. I wonder how I'm gonna figure out the... We don't have a sprint button. How to figure out the crouch button on here. Double tap to sprint, I'll need to get used to. One thing at a time, one thing at a time. The question is, how much cobblestone do I want to take back with me? Probably enough to fill up my inventory, but I still want to keep some of this cobblestone here. Just save this for whenever I want to build. Whereas the cobblestone I keep down below is just all the cobblestone I don't want to keep up here. Checks the time, it's already been 36 minutes. Oops. Alright, we will keep that there. Then we'll make a furnace. Oops, I pressed a button. We'll just make the furnace up here and then take the rest of the cobblestone. Oh, in fact, we'll need a stone cutter as well. And since I kind of like the way the chests are currently positioned, I think what I'll do is double stack them. So that's going to be another 6 chests to make. In fact, if I'm preparing to head back down for a long time, let's just grab all this wood now. Hello, Mr. Spider. Please get down. Thank you. I'm waiting for the day that we have proper survival-based vertical slabs. Because I feel like we're getting close. Like this year or next year. The only reason why I say that is because they added the cushion. And it's crazy to me to think that they added the cushion. Because there's a big post on Twitter that they made. The official account said something about when you can finally sit after 17 years. Although stairs came out 16 years ago, but it's corporate account. Don't judge them too badly when it comes to historical accuracy. So I'm waiting because I feel like we're getting close if they're adding smaller things that the community has been asking for a very long time. So we'll grab that. I'm gonna need more pickaxes. Trying to think how to do so. Game freeze? Was this a total freeze? Well, at least we got through most of the day. It seems like whenever I walk in this direction, I can't verify because I don't know what exactly is going on. But something in this direction. With the way the cushions are designed, it was such a good idea making them entities. That way, you almost can just sit anywhere as long as you have a valid place for that cushion to sit. And then because I know you're going to take forever to properly shut down, let me head over here and say farewell to you. Click. Oh, wait, I didn't need that. Boop. Back to work we go. All this hassle is what people avoid by taking the nostalgia launcher. I haven't checked up on the development in 1 or 2 months, just because back when it was first mentioned, whoever first told me about it, I looked into it, and then I never bothered touching it since. And I'm back here. Did I create? I did. So what we were doing, we were going to put the string away. I wasn't paying attention to the ad. I'm pretty sure that's a game, not an anime. I can't verify whether or not there's an anime tie-in. Once the stream is over, you can go back and check whatever, because I wasn't looking at it. Alright, so we need pickaxes, but I'm probably just going to toss this first. It was an ad. Did you think that was a wallpaper or something that I set? No. The only wallpaper I have is the screenshot, my desktop background from Black Snow, a Half-Life 2 Episode 2 mod. I want to, if they added TNT slabs, I'd want to know why. The only reason why is because I don't see people talking about it. And what would their use be over regular TNT? I'm sure they would fix the bug where the light up model would be the slab instead of the full block, because I'm sure they just rushed that. If you remember that visual bug with the original slabs. Otherwise, I'd want to know why they would implement it. Alright, so let's toss all this away. I can't see it being implemented because nobody's talking about it these days. And if there's no use, other than for looks, I feel like if they made TNT slabs, people would start asking for many more slabs. It'd be nice if we had more stairs and slabs, but at the same time, do we really need more stairs and slabs? I don't think I can do that. No, I cannot. So what we're gonna have to do is... Can I just put that torch there and put that torch there? That means I can put that block there. Okay, we're getting closer. Then I can put that torch there. Yeah. Oh, no. No, no, no. That's not what I wanted. There we go. When you use torches to outsmart chest placement because there's no crouching. Alright, so over here, this is for the furnace and stonecutter. Do I like the look of that? Oh. Well, I guess we're gonna be stuck with it. Alright, so let's go pick up whatever torches fell. These things are expensive. Not really, but I act like they are. Because of how many I use. There's a pig wandering around down here. I don't know if you were here at the start of the stream, but there's a sheep somewhere up in this direction. And I finally got an official email from Windows saying ESU being extended through 2027. As they updated the article 2 or 3 weeks ago. That was a day of celebration. So hooray, at least now they officially acknowledge it. Which means they're not trolling us. Did you say no way because you're already switched away from Windows 10? Or you say no way because Microsoft went back on their decision And the game said nope once more. Come on, I just want to play Minecraft. Well, you gotta be so mean to me. Alrighty. Let's try this again. And again. Oh, because I placed the chest wrong. For some reason, I thought you said no way. I don't know where I read that. Where is the thingy? Unless if I can just press the button. I can press the button. Cool. This game is ZZZ. It's been around for a while. Never played it. See ads for it still. As proven by the ad directly in front of us. Would a beacon slab even be functional? There was a mod, I can't remember the name of it, but it created like facades where it generated every possible block and item, or at least every possible block, and used those. Okay, hold on, I gotta check this chest real fast, make sure these save. Otherwise, I just lost a whole bunch of cobblestone. Cool. Alright, but anyways, there was a mod where it generated a texture face for every block in the game. And then you can use that as a facade, a panel on certain blocks. I think it was Buildcraft. You could make these facades for pipes, that way you can hide your pipes. You did say no way. You said no way for the pig. That's what happened. Wait, no, hold on. There's a pig. It translated nice to no way. That's what happened, because y'all can't see that, because that's my browser being an auto translator. That's where I saw the no way. Okay, so I'm not crazy, because we had this discussion previously. We couldn't figure out why the little translation symbol was popping up, and now I understand. I'm just using Brave, because that was the simplest solution to multiple problems. I say that, but truth be told, like 5 years ago, I saw some YouTuber using it, and I was like, I want to switch. Alrighty, so we need to find even more wood for all the sticks that we're about to make. Unless I already have sticks. I have some. Let's make more. Alrighty, so I need to deconstruct even more iron. Feels like I've been deconstructing these blocks every time I come back to make more pickaxes. It would be wise to acquire more iron to replace that. Feel free to use whatever browser you do so trust. 6 pickaxes will last me a while, because this isn't beta 1.1 where tools break so quickly. Hooray for beta 1.2. They changed? That's not true. They added the recipe to use the 1.14 stone cutter, where you can convert one block into one stair. The problem is, the stone cutter is for stone. That only works for stone blocks. you still have to craft wooden stairs the old way for 6 blocks for 4. 6 blocks for 4 stairs. So people are kind of hoping that eventually they create a woodcutter, and then you could use that woodcutter to convert 1 to 1. .0.3 changing diamond tools is one of those I wonder why moments. But at the same time, it means that when beta 1.2 rolled around, the diamond tools got an even larger buff. I want to say 1.0.3 also changed or it removed the ability to jump 3 blocks horizontally to just 2 blocks horizontally. Unless there's 1.0.4 that changed that. I can't remember. I recorded a video because I had to see it for myself. The 2 block jump versus 3 block jump. I really need to make a proper pathway here because I keep taking the wrong exit. But before all that, we returned, and now, once this ceiling is gone, this will feel like a proper cavern. In fact, while I'm here, we're gonna make those wooden stairs that I have yet to do so. I'll take that, thank you. My head does not. Uh-oh. Hello. Haha. I was gonna say my head does not fit here, and then I realized, oh wait, that stone was holding up a whole bunch of gravel. Let's just clean all this up now. Chances are I'm gonna want the headroom later. Yeah, so many of your messages get auto-translated, and that's what I'm reading because it's larger text than what I see on OBS's preview. Like, I see that you spelled gravel correctly, but then I look to OBS, you did not at all spell gravel correctly. This is what happens when you don't type with proper English. Although I don't know if it's just any English or if it's specifically American English. I know, where was I digging previously? I think it was up here. Yeah, because we gotta lower this. Question is, how far this way do we go? Kind of want to open this up right here. No, maybe not. There's probably a way to do so. I haven't searched for that yet. So this is the pathway, which means everything in front of me has to go. So the whole cavern right here. Let's just get rid of that. It'll probably be replaced later. So the whole cavern, all right there, has to go down. So everything we're currently walking on. Well, that's okay. We'll just start by, we'll just start digging here. We are currently 54 minutes into the stream. Perhaps your clock is a minute ahead. Oops, that was a waste of pickaxe durability. It was only a waste because this is not Java. I should say modern Java. I think it was 1.0 that made the change. Beta 1.8, I still have to deal with it. Sad times. That was 2 wastes of durability. That was 2 points wasted. Whoops. using the wrong tool for dirt. Yeah, I'm looking at this little slab right here, this flat wall with the slope on one side. I think this has to go as well. Because I see all of this right here. And you are not helpful. Oops. That one did have a torch. But all of this right here, it just feels obstructive. Hopefully I can start clearing all this out. Chirp, chirp. Can't remember the last time I watched a SpongeBob episode. It's been within the past few years because every once in a while I want to go back and rewatch Band Geeks. One of my favorite episodes. If Koski was here, this is the part where I'd ask him about how it goes with his SpongeBob DVDs. Doesn't know he picked those up sometime last year, I thought. I think I was still on UMP at that time. Part 4. It's crazy to me whenever I go back and look at how far that series has gone, and to think that 400 episodes, most of which 2 hours in length, 480. That's a lot of episodes. That's a lot of watch time. That's a lot of time playing Minecraft. Alright, how to slope this down? We've got that cave right there, which means maybe I just sort of have to lower this. Inventory is already almost full. Maybe I should put these logs away. I'll keep them in one of the other chests, away from the cobblestone. It feels like I'm opening up an entire other cavern, because this is how that first one looked like before I moved on to the second area. It's like I'm digging the hole all over again. For anyone who's on 3KO server, I recently updated my post with the beta 1.8 world, and I said, do you ever start digging a hole, and then you dig more hole, and then you dig more hole? Because I have this giant cavern that's something like 11 blocks wide, and maybe close to 50 blocks long, and because it's sloped downward, it goes, oops, how far is it? Like 30 something blocks down, I think. Well, maybe only 20 something. But anyways, that was a big old mining project, and kind of the reason why I stopped playing on the world for a little while, because I was in the middle of that and I didn't want to keep digging. But eventually, this weekend, I said, you know what, I just got to get this done. That way I can cross it off the to-do list. Because I still have a lot of things on the to-do list, and the faster I finish my beta 1.8 to-do list, I can update to beta 1.9, and then start a brand new to-do list. But anyways, that was a very large mining project. I'm almost done, thankfully. I don't have much left to do, just a few finishing touches, and then I can cross it off. And then I could celebrate, because this has taken too much time. Diggy Diggy Hole is a classic song, and I'm not surprised that they made Diggy Diggy Hole 2. It doesn't have the same catchiness, though. The original is just an earworm, though. The official 2014 version feels like a proper song. We're getting there. I could see some of that top side peeking through. That's a little off to this side, though. I feel like I'm gonna have to focus on being... This isn't even where I need it to be. Hold on, I'm digging out a bunch of space that's way off to the side. I really need to be focusing on all of this right in front of me, because all of this, there's nothing over here. You said shovel the first time. I'm not sure why you put shower the second time. Pretty sure while showering would make things more difficult because you're just gonna get all of that in the mud. I don't think you want to be digging up mud. I'd rather dig up soft dirt. What architecture even was the first computer? Wouldn't this be before any sort of standardization? What sort of instructions do you have to feed the CPU to get anything done? Let's just head back here. We do ever so slowly. It'd be nice if I could get this removed, but it'll have to wait for now. Yeah, we're gonna carve this out sideways and only focus on everything on this side because I was being a ding dong and wasn't really paying attention. You cannot play Minecraft using punch cards until someone proves me wrong and figures out how to do so. I don't know anyone who was using computers back at that point. My grandma remembers being taught them, but back then it was digital. Can you believe in 50 years, nobody's gonna be left who was using computers back when they started? Oh boy, now I have all of this I'm gonna have to deal with. I almost think this was better designed back when I kept it solid. Well, too late, because now I have to stick to what I started. You say it would be, but just you wait. If you get to live another 50 years, that's what'll happen. Of course, there's a lot of factors that also require existing in another 50 years. We'll need to see how history plays out. And I need to get up here. A vacuum tube is a tube with negative atmosphere, or less than a atmospheric pressure, less pressure than sea level, or something like that. Can't tell you what it looks like. Don't know how that's used in computing. but that's what vacuum means. Chirp, chirp, chirp. I think there's nothing else I dropped. Oh, nope, I see you. I see you, little cobblestone, trying to escape me. No, into my inventory you go. Except there won't be much inventory space left. Alright, let's go put over here. It was probably made in a vacuum for less resistance or something. You don't want to deal with air messing it up. This is the part where you go to YouTube and see like the history of computers. Or what is a vacuum tube computer? And so all of this will have to go down, which means this is going to need to be sloped. Unless if I make this a platform, probably not all of it, but I could start around here. Let me grab the stone that's been cobbled. I'm going to need more stone that's been cobbled. We're going to start out with the little 8x8 area here. How wide is this? That's only 5. Now let's go back one more. Goodbye pickaxe. Let's grab another. There we go. This will be our nice big cobblestone platform up here. And hope that I have enough cobblestone, because there's a good chance I do not. In fact, I'm certain I do not, because an 8x8 platform requires 64 blocks in total. I do not have a stack. Alrighty, so now we need everything right in front of me. Well, no, because if all of this is down here, I don't need to get rid of this. But I'm looking at it, and it just feels like it can be removed. We're going to take advantage of our 11 block reach, though. I feel like if it was like this in previous builds, I would have caught it already. Definitely last time. I think this was a bug introduced in build 10. If only we could have 11 block reach and survival at all times, that'd be nice. Poor crab, though. The crab did not win the mob vote. But at least Java Edition got the command. I think it was Java, unless it was Java and Bedrock. Got the command for custom reach for specific items. Or maybe it was a game rule, not a command. Well, use commands through, or use game rules through commands. Anyways, at some point they added the ability to work on extended reaches. Although these days people aren't really talking about it, they're talking about the cushions and the sulfur cubes. I'd like to hope that 26.1 was a lot of the back-end work and optimization and whatnot, and now they can focus on new features. There we go. Yeah, all of this right up here, this should be removed. I'm also thinking of putting another platform up there. Anyways, I still have to get rid of everything down here, one thing at a time. So I'll leave that alone for now, or else I'm gonna just keep looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. So we need this to meet up with the big open cavern down here. There it is. So about 2 to 3 blocks I have to go. So I don't know how I'm going to curve off this section that I'm currently standing on. But if I can at least see the main section of the cavern, I'll have a better idea. In fact, all of that can probably be removed if I head off in this direction. I almost wonder if this side's going to end up being taller than the cavern I had way over on that end. Checks the time, hour and 11. Where did the last hour go? Rambling about vacuum tube computers and stone that needs to be turned into cobblestone. One thing's for sure, I can see that pathway better now. That plank pathway has so much more view. Alright, let's take a quick breather. Let's pick all this cobblestone up. I'll probably toss it as well. Eventually, we're going to start losing the ability to pick up a bunch of cobblestone because diorite, andesite, and granite are starting to eat up inventory space. In fact, while I'm here, let me put away the logs since I'm not actively building with these right now. In fact, I'll just put the planks as well. There we go, that freed up more space. And everything's looking orange, must be turning nighttime. Or daytime. I can't tell which of the two. I don't have a clock on me. I feel like the Minecraft clock was a feature that was so useful back in the day, back before you could sleep. And then you could sleep, and people would rather just sleep the night away than make a strategic decision based on whether or not it's daytime or nighttime when they are out and about. That's one of those features that lost its purpose. Kinda like the furnace minecart if we want to consider, or if we don't consider the bug of minecart boosting. The intended use for furnace minecarts has been lost with the addition of redstone rails. Then minecarts as a whole started being less useful when other forms of travel were added. The horse was a big one, but people don't use horses these days. They use tridents and elytras. People don't even need to use mules anymore for their extra storage. They could just use shulker boxes. And I'm thinking I might have built this too far forward, because now I kind of want to bring this back, which means that platform all has to slide over here. Unless what I could do is I could turn this into the pathway. This will be the entrance point, which means this can stay, this little corner, and everything over here can go. Oopsies. Let's grab another pickaxe. I'm just now realizing how many hours I've spent carving this out, and the only thing I've done is acquire a bunch of cobblestone and a bunch of stones that I'm not going to use. I should probably start figuring out something else to do. Well, if that's all down there, then that means... Alright, one thing at a time. I have to keep telling myself, or else I'm not going to end up doing one thing at a time. So there... Yeah, that ceiling feels a little low, which means this big chunk of land right in front of me basically has to be pushed all the way back to that wall over there. Maybe I should work on, instead of doing top down, I should dig out this part here. Because over on this side, this has to be extended off to this direction. This is about where it needs to go. Auto jump, leave me alone. Yeah, how about we just start flattening this wall? We're going to start 1.13ing it. Insert flattening joke here. It's crazy to me to think that the flattening in 2018 was 8 years ago. And before that, Minecraft existed for 9 years. We are very close to the point where block IDs were flattened to namespaces longer than having numeric IDs for blocks and items. Not too much longer until we reached that point. And I remember how big of a change that was back in the day. Oop, I'll take that, thank you. How big of a technical change it was. Most players, as long as their world upgrades fine, they're not going to care. But for people who like their discontinued features, meaning an entire dedicated community, they had stuff to say about it. And boop, I knew that was going to make things dark. Not as bad as I thought, though. It's so weird being able to see the floor, the obsidian from way over here, because I remember this being so buried. But when I look to my double chest and I see how it's going, it's not so buried anymore. It's not so Barry B. Benson. Can you believe that B-movie turns 20 next year? I keep talking about stuff that's old. I remember it was a TV channel, something like Nickelodeon. It was either Nickelodeon or Disney Channel that kept advertising B-movie. And I specifically remember something going on there. It's not the B-movie, it's just B-movie. If you asked me 2 weeks ago when I thought B-movie came out, I would have said 2010. And then I went back and double checked. No, it's 2007. It's older than I thought. Alright, how's it going? We're getting there. I just need to keep diggy hole, as was previously mentioned. In fact, when I'm over here, can I just cut this in half? I need to watch where I step because I don't have crouching, and I'd rather not fall the 10 or 15 blocks downward. I don't know if armor protects against fall damage. It used to. No, that's because armor used to protect against all kinds of damage. And then they added different damage types, at least on Java, they added different damage types in 1.0. And that helped protect you. That way, receiving damage could be based on stuff that made sense. For example, blocking with a sword to prevent fall damage used to work in beta 1.8. And I'll be honest, I absolutely take advantage of that whenever I can on my beta 1.8 world. And then that was changed in 1.0. I think it was beta 1.9 pre-release 2, maybe? It's either pre-release 1 or pre-release 2. It was very quickly fixed. But I'm not there yet, so I still get to enjoy it. T to the he. Three, two, one, hooray! This feels so much more open now. I'm gonna have to get rid of that top part to make it look a little nicer. Well, at least now I have all this access point. And look, we can finally start getting a good idea of how this will shape out. Is that a trash truck backing up? I hear loud beeps going out. They're going on outside. Sounds like you'd hear from heavy equipment backing up. Like the boulder from... Oh, what was the name of that episode? Going back to SpongeBob again. It was the Krusty Krab pizza episode. But I feel like it had a name that's not coming to mind. That would totally be another question for Koski if he was here. I can Halo Reach so far. How about I just stand here, and then I just dig everything that's in front of me? Oops, let's be smart about that. Save on pickaxe durability. There's no item swap animation yet. I wonder when that gets added. I thought that would have been added during 0.11's development cycle. Maybe not. Might have been 0.12's development cycle. I would say I'm looking forward to 0.12, but I still haven't decided for sure yet where I'm currently sitting at in part 2 of this series. Come on. There you go. Okay, so that's right about the end of my reach. Whoop, let's not fall off. I see you down there. Do my inventory where you'll be nice and safe, and you won't disappear into the void of item deletion, where all those starter cubes go from Blender. Inventory is going up though, so it'd probably be smart to toss the cobble. In fact, I think we're about to fill up the chest here. And that's why we have 6 of these. Oops. There we go. That's much better. Much more space now. Alright. Oh wait, we only have a pickaxe and a half left. Oops, we're not gonna last much longer. That's okay. How's it looking? Yeah, I really should start going that way some more. And I didn't realize, but that is a very large cobblestone platform compared to some of these other platforms I've constructed. Like everything up here. Let's just shave this down before I start working on the current area. Because I want the wall up there and this cave right here to mesh well. And where it currently stands, it did not. Alright, we're getting there. Now we're starting to get to the little details. But it's always the little details that really finalize a build. It's the small world building that really brings a story to life. Although I'm not really trying to tell a story on this world. I'm just kind of playing it. I have plenty of other stories going on. Trying to turn this world into a story sounds like extra work that does not need to be done. So we'll just focus on digging this out as we say goodbye to our penultimate pickaxe. And let's not accidentally walk down there. I still try to adjust that the WASD inputs do not function how I wish they would. Alright, how's it looking? Yeah, that big flat wall right here has to go. Goodbye, big flat wall. I wonder where everyone disappeared off to. It got real quiet here. Is it more mic static or is it just coincidence that 3 people left at one time? I guess looking at the chat, it's only 2. Oop. I think it got quiet 20 minutes ago. Okay, so we'll dig that up. Let me dig out underneath this platform as well. Because I want this to be plopping out and sort of hanging around. Partially attached to the wall, but not entirely. So then once I get the wall brought back to lining up with the other sections down here, then what I'll do is... Oh wait, hold on, it doesn't go that far because the 2 blocks only extends outward 2 blocks, which means I really should stop it right around here. The lower section can go farther, that way it sort of curves downward. I'll take that. So now, this is the part where we just pancake this. Ian, you haven't missed much. Unless you happen to know what a vacuum tube computer is. I've just been digging for the past hour and a half. I did set up a little chest area for cobblestone down here, and a full workstation. Other than that, I'm trying to get rid of this stone because it bothers me. I don't know what ENIAC is, but someone was asking about what the first type of computer was earlier, and they were pointed to a vacuum tube computer. I don't know how computing is done within vacuum tubes. You're back after 25 minutes. Right after I say, where did everyone go for the last 20 minutes? People show up again. I should start asking that more often. Maybe I can summon you guys. And you can give freely your sweet, sweet watch time. Although I'm not monetized, so that watch time doesn't do much other than look good on the analytics. How far back does this go? If I look at that wall there, we might be reaching the end of it. That means if I just hi-yah, I could go forward. There we go. Compartmentalization. I don't know if that's a word, but it's what I'm going to say. By making little compartments on here, I'm able to see exactly where I gotta go. And it's easier to help me figure out where the boundaries are for what needs to go and what can stay. I lost a lot of cobblestone down here. Whoops. Well, at least that means I got to focus on just digging. Alright, how's that looking? Are we close? When I want people to keep coming back to watch the stream, I do not want the bitrate monster coming back as well. Alright, well, let's head back here as I make sure that my live preview is, in fact, still live. And nighttime, as I see this guy. Solving solving complicated math problems is still computation. That's where the word computer comes from. It computes. That's where calculators come from. It calculates. That's where adders come from. They add. I should have tossed the cobblestone I had down there. Whoopsies, my fault. Well, while I'm up here, I got to toss everything that's not cobblestone. I'll free up more slots. There was a time Mojang was in talks to acquire Optifine. Optifine was going to be another one of the mods integrated into vanilla. But what happened is, among other things, the dev for Optifine said we have to keep Zoom in. Mojang said no, Zoom will not be a vanilla feature. So he said, okay, no Optifine. No Optifine in vanilla. And thus, we did not get Optifine features in vanilla. Now, I know there was more than that, But that was one of the reasons. I don't know if the sodium team was ever approached. They might have been, but at the same time, that also means a lot of back-end rendering, and that would cause a lot of... Having sodium be integrated into vanilla would cause compatibility issues. Yeah, we got the spyglass now, because that was... The talks with Optifine integration was before 1.17. Yeah, now we have the spyglass, but it's not the same. It's just a hotkey. I can't remember when I last talked about this story. I know it's been brought up previously on streams. And I forgot gravel and dirt go over here. That's not dirt. Granite, what do you think you're doing in there? I wasn't paying attention. This is all gravel, right? Making sure there's no andesite hiding inside. I can understand the world wars being motivation for increasing computational ability. Let's move that over. Let's go toss the granite. I almost said andesite, then I almost said that right. None of the above. So what exactly is a vacuum tube do for power supply if it's literally anything more than a tube with it that has negative atmospheric pressure? Alrighty, so we need another 6. We're gonna make another 6 pickaxes. Hopefully you're not hearing static because I might have touched the cord. And I need to not touch this cord because it makes sounds that I don't want to hear. That's not entirely true. I don't hear the sounds, but you guys do. I don't want you guys to hear the sounds. Maybe I should just make more pickaxes. How about we make another 2 pickaxes? Because if I'm going to keep digging, and now that I have the ability to clean out inventory space by putting cobblestone down below, this is what we're going to do. These pickaxes will last me even longer now. Eventually, if I collect enough coal and iron down below, then I can start... I should grab some more of this. Then I could start smelting my own tools down there. Then I won't have to come back as much. But I have not yet reached that point. Let's just grab all this real fast. Leave that top row. Alright, away we go. Who buzzed me? Anything important? There's Koski. Let's see if he hops on. Whoop, let's not accidentally fall off of here into the big ol' endless abyss that I might have forgotten to put water at the bottom of, but now considering to do so. Oh, wait a minute. That's a lie. I did put water down below. Good job, me of the past. You did make sure that that was not an endless abyss. Alrighty, me of the present, how's it looking? We're almost there. The ceiling is still being a ceiling, but I hope that soon that's about to change. Like history and Back to the Future. I can't imagine a vacuum tube. I don't know what to expect. I just see a glass tube. That's kind of why I was asking you, what a vacuum tube computer is, because this is technology that I've not been familiar with. There'll be some other sort of device. I don't know what. I don't know what it's going to do. Well, at some point in human history, there will be a device so large that they drop it in the ocean for cooling. Because that's going to be 1,000 times cheaper than pumping the water to circulate. They just have the entire thing submerged in ocean water to keep cool. The only problem is they're going to have to fight off all of the deterioration caused by the salt water. Howdy, Potato, welcome back. Was it a reference I made or a reference Ian made? Because I do not know who Bill Wirtz is, or Bill Wirtz. I kind of do associate That's Hot with, oh, what was his name? Big celebrity, Will Smith, from YouTube Rewind 2018 when he was looking through the site. I've seen the entire history of the entire world one time, however many years ago, and then that was that. That's not my kind of humor. Alright, how's this looking? I'm thinking of shaving off more of up there. In fact, why don't I just do that from here? Oh wait, hold on. There we go. Question is, how far does this need to go? If I can make it lower, that'd be nice. In fact, maybe I'll shave off this entire bottom layer first. Can I reach that? Not quite. So close. There we go. This is gonna be really sad when the reach gets cut in half, as it's supposed to be, because I'm starting to realize this is very fun. You know what's not fun, though? The bitrate monster nibbling on the bitrate. I'd appreciate it if things just sort of worked. Oh, wait a minute, you said the bitrate dying at the same time. Ha! We had similar thoughts with that. Because I looked over and saw the spinning wheel, the little loop on the live preview. And OBS has said 97 dropped frames at 24 FPS. That's like what, 5 seconds? 4 seconds. 4 seconds and a frame. I feel like I've heard of Moore's Law, but I cannot guarantee what it is. I'm trying to think how to take care of this. Maybe I should just leave that like that. I'll just put some torches down there and then call it a day. Let's just boop. Put one torch there, another one there. There we go. Oh, that's right. I was gonna shave off one more layer from down below. Whoops, hold on. Well, here we have this big old nice pathway. How about we go down and get it from over here? There we go. Because I wanted to get rid of this entire layer. I'm still waiting around because I am almost certain that as long as I live a normal lifespan, I'm almost certain that quantum computing will be mainstream in my lifetime. And I think we're all about, well, close-ish to the same age. Your lifetimes as well. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the next big advancement that gets it more accessible, maybe? I don't know the proper word. I feel like IBM is still renting out their computational resources to regular individuals. And my inventory is nearly full. Oops. I haven't looked into it in a while, but they were doing that a few years ago, where you can rent out IBM's quantum computing. Alright, let's do all this. Advance exponentially until it reaches a plateau. That I can understand. Checks the time, sees 12 minutes. 12 more minutes of digging this up. Unless, if I can open it up far enough where I could start putting in more pathways. Pathways, you know, like the Shout Out UK game. Oh, this feels so much better. It's nice that we have all of this be open there, and now this is starting to get opened up as well. So everything above me still feels kind of claustrophobic. And that sheep is still hanging out as well. We will never have a way to verify how many total species have existed. There's not, I would say chaos and entropy, but this is kind of just the natural order of what we know. It's far easier to destroy than create. I didn't have a way to put those thoughts together. So, you get them individually. Or do I want to keep going? I kind of don't. I kind of want to just work on the cobblestone now. So I got half of this opened up. Well, now I need to open this up. What world building project is it you are currently working on? So yeah, down here, I do not like where this is currently placed, so we're gonna FBI open up all of this. Because that platform down there had very little headroom. Was this the world building for the story that you started? The one where I read, I think, 2 chapters of? You might have talked about it here before. That's not part of it anymore? Alright, so then it used to be. So now it's different. Oi. It's a space opera. Everyone's favorite Cowboy Bebop. I want that cobblestone, but I want the stone it's sitting on to stay there. Alright, how to make this smoother and look more like a natural cavern. Because right now, this is a very sharp drop that I'm not a big fan of. Here, hold on. Before I keep digging, I gotta pick all this up. I'll take that, thank you. Alright, maybe... Yeah, maybe I'll just bring this back some more, because I have a lot of space down here with the way this is opened up. Sounds like a lot of backstory you've been working on. Alrighty, so that... Almost there. Oops, there's more cobblestone down there. I'm not a biologist to know how many alien designs were based on animals. Alright, let's pick up these blocks for sure before they disappear. Alrighty, I think we are finally nearing the end stages of opening this up until I decide to have more to open up. Hey, bitrate monster, leave me alone. I'm not done yet. I'm still streaming. I got 5 more minutes. Excuse me, bitrate monster. I'm telling you, 5 more minutes. Oh no, did it end? Stream still says it's going. Come on, I believe in you. Will this pop up if I refresh? Stream connection poor. Come on, you just have to hold out for 4 more minutes now. I feel like I've heard the name. No, I haven't heard the name Calypso before. I think you spell it differently than what I'm familiar with. Say familiar as if I know what the Calypso project was. Alright, so we have that to light up. This will probably end up being removed, but I want to put torches on it for now. It did say Calypso was their planet, and that's just a word I've heard before, but not spelled with a Y. Alrighty, so we have our starting point here. I still need this to line up. I'm probably going to end up doing what I did previously and turning this into a cobblestone square. Oopsies! I don't want a Halo reach that far right now. Alright, and then I think I see a downside with being able to reach so far. It's that auto bridging is no longer as beneficial. Oh, wait, hold up, where is it? Oh, right, I was supposed to get rid of more of this. Whoopsies. We have time frames over which all these events take place. As you listed a lot of events, and now I'm wondering over how much time. Okay, so if I've got that big cobblestone platform there, and if I have another one down here, let's just bring all this over. Alrighty, so now I need to get up there, because I need to connect the pathway between that platform and this one. I think... I don't know. Do I even have a way to get up there anymore? Did I just carve out my one path? I might have done an oopsie. What I could do is... No, I don't have a way to get up there anymore. I just carved that all out, because what we're staring at used to be a big chunk of land, and there are a couple pathways to get over there, but now I don't have a way to get over there anymore. Alright, so then what we'll do is, I'll probably start working on a staircase from there the end of that cobblestone going up, because I think those line up. It's also TikTok noon o'clock, so if you have any final thoughts, start saying now as I hop up here and examine how I want this to go. Yeah, I'll figure this out next time. Hopefully tomorrow. Tomorrow should be a regular stream day. But yeah, that's all it for this time. Thank you all for watching. Bye.